WarGames is this Saturday, and sometimes you just like to watch the world burn, so we're going to ruin each match with some bad booking ideas that we don't want to happen, and then we're going to provide good ideas as well, because it's easy to say, you need to write better stories, Triple H, but not have any ideas to present. So we're going to give good ideas and bad. So let's start with the Unseen 17 in his second to last match ever against Dirty Dom. Dirty Dom in his home city, home turf, hometown. And this one, like, honestly, I could see it either way. If John Cena won, I don't think he should, actually. I just don't think he should. I think this is put over Dirty Dom. But if John Cena did win, it wouldn't be the end of the world, honestly. And if Dirty Dom won, I would love that because it puts over younger talent. So win, lose, or draw, there's really no bad call here. I think the better option is Dirty Dom winning, though. I just think this should be a very straightforward match. And if we want to do respect here, this is the one time you can do respect. What if John Cena, he loses, right? And he then goes up to Dirty Dom and he extends his hand. But Dirty Dom, being Dirty Dom, should just say, no, and walk away. Dirty Dom does not accept John Cena's hand. That would be funny. So there you go. That's how you get respect. Do respect right here. And yeah, he denies it. You could also, John Cena wins. He's proud of Dirty Dom. He extends his hand. And again, Dirty Dom's like, no, slaps it out of his hand and walks away. Either way. I would say you ruined this situation by John Cena wins, he celebrates, and then the Judgment Day come and beat down Dirty Dom. They're just mad at him for losing, and this is them breaking up with him. There's a way to fix it, though. There's a way to fix it. This would be kind of like reminiscent of Rock Hogan when the Rock beat Hogan, and then he got kicked out by the NWO, but then the Rock came back and saved the day. So we have Finn Balor and company, they beat up Dom, they're kicking him out of Judgment Day, but then John Cena comes back out. He runs out, he saves Dirty Dom, or maybe Rey Mysterio runs out, saves Dirty Dom, and boom, Dirty Dom is now a face. During the match, you could have Liv. Liv could interfere against John Cena, and then that could be the reason why Dirty Dom beats John Cena. But yeah, I think they should just go simple here. They should just go simple. I really wouldn't mind a clean victory from Dirty Dom on John Cena. The best thing to do after the match is the handshake that Dirty Dom walks away on. The worst thing to do is just have a beatdown of Dirty Dom after the match and nobody comes out to save him. So that's your bad idea, that's your good idea. So now let's do the women's War Games matchup. This one needs to go to the heels. I really believe that the heels need to win this match. If you look at that team, you got Lash Legend, Nia Jax, Kyrie, Asuka, and Becky Lynch, the best in the world. And that's not just me saying it, that's Sports Illustrated. No one can really take the pin here. Like, Lash Legend's way too new. Nia Jax, she already takes too much pins if we want to keep her as a credible threat as a big man. We got Kyrie. Kyrie can take the pin. I'll be honest there. Kyrie can take the pin. Asuka doesn't need to be taking any pins right now with the momentum she's getting and has gotten over the last couple months. And Becky Lynch, well, she just lost to AJ and Maxine Dupree. So, like, we can't afford... Becky could afford the loss in that her character could eat a loss and just kind of, like, brush it off. But we also need to keep her strong. But you look at the women's side of things, all 5 of them justifiably can take a pin in that. We got AJ Lee. She pinned Becky Lynch at WrestlePalooza. Therefore, if Becky pinned AJ here, it's 1-1. That could set up a third rubber match between those two. Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley, each of them could take the pin. If Charlotte takes the pin, she can blame it on Rhea Ripley. If Rhea Ripley takes the pin, she can blame it on Charlotte. There's some kind of miscommunication at some point, and boom, either of them can take the pin because of the other one and blame them setting up a feud and program. And quite honestly, Alexa Bliss could eat a pin here as well, and it could be because of Rhea Ripley, which then gets Charlotte Flair upset. Or it does, maybe Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley are beefing, which causes Alexa to get pinned. Therefore, Alexa gets mad at Charlotte, saying, you know, you were too busy arguing with Rhea to have my back. See how there's like many ways to get this to happen. And then who's their last opponent? Io Sky? Honestly, Io Sky is probably the one who should get pinned the least here, because there's not really a great reason to pin her unless Asuka is the one that pins her, and Asuka can then gloat and say, see, the teacher is better than the student still. And so yeah, that's pretty much the justification on pinning Io. But I honestly think that AJ Lee or Charlotte Rhea, those are your options, your best options right there. A lot of people won't think AJ Lee, but I don't know. Why not have her put over some other talent, since she's more of a part-timer than a full-timer? Don't worry, I still like AJ Lee. Because these are huge matchups between multiple people, 5-on-5, it's hard to just give one way to ruin it. I would say the easiest way to ruin this would be to pin Lash Legend. Lash Legend does not need to be getting pinned here. She just got called up. She's huge. She could be a monster threat for the years to come, and we need her rookie year to be powerful and dominant. Therefore, if we pin Lash Legend here, it would be trash. I would hate that. And I know the justification for it. Well, she's young, she's new, she can eat a loss, she'll be fine. Don't worry about it. She has plenty of time left in her career. No. That line of thinking is like, while I understand and follow it, I don't agree with it whatsoever. Brock Lesnar, could you imagine if we let him lose the first 3 years of his career? Don't worry, he's fine. He's young. He'll have 20 years ahead of him. No. He was the next big thing the moment he arrived, and then they proceeded to make him the next big thing. So if Lash Legend is the one that takes the pin here, that would suck. Another way they can ruin this War Games, or at least put a bad taste in my mouth, is if they had Rhea Ripley get 4-on-1 assaulted with a baseball bat like they did last year. Literally 3 people held Rhea Ripley while Liv Morgan attacked her with a baseball bat. And then Rhea Ripley proceeded to get the pin on Liv Morgan. I hated that, to the point that that's a core memory on what not to do for me in WWE. And if they did that again, that would suck. They have depowered Rhea Ripley, and they need to keep it that way. She's way more interesting now that she's not invincible. So please, Triple H, don't do that. All right, so now let's come up with a good solution here. I would say this. The first good solution would be for both War Game matchups, actually, say whoever gets the pinfall, Whoever scores the pinfall victory is an instant #1 contender. That way you can have a little bit of everybody just wanting to get the pinfall. And the second thing would be, I would want every match to be an elimination match, like Survivor Series traditional rules. That's not going to happen. I know that. But maybe we could get that #1 contender spot. And then who knows? That would allow then, no matter what, even the teams that are a solid unit towards the end, they can kind of start fighting, because everybody wants to be the #1 contender for a belt. And if you want to be a #1 contender for this World Championship, you don't have to pin anybody in any steel cage. All you got to do is comment below, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell, ding, 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 notification. At 20,000 subscribers, I'm going to give away this belt on my shoulder. It's not a replica. It's a toy? I screwed that up. No. Reverse that. It's not a toy. It's a replica. All right. So how would I book this? What is a couple booking ideas that would be great and amazing? The first booking idea I'm going to do here is Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch is going to surprise everybody and say, you know what? I'm out. I'm not in War Games. I'm just not a part of this. And she comes up with some ridiculous reason why she's no longer going to be in War Games. But she has found a replacement, and that replacement is Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill doesn't have a match, and this would be a great spotlight for Jade Cargill because it allows her to get a main event spot while not having to be the only person in the ring. You know, she can, whatever weaknesses she has can be like, you know, someone else can pick up the slack in those spots. She's a power wrestler, so just have her come in and clean house. And this could start a kind of mentor-mentee relationship between Becky and Jade Cargill. And then what would be even better, though, is Becky Lynch remains on the outside of the cage the entire match, getting heat. Becky is a heat magnet. She knows how to get the crowd and the people at home to hate her. So you get a spotlight for Jade Cargill while Becky still remains prominent and a spotlight on the outside, just drawing heat and fire. And every once in a while she can get involved all these certain ways. So yes. You also have to have Charlotte and Rhea Ripley throughout the entire match. They should be kind of like almost on the brink of destruction. And maybe Alexa Bliss is trying to, like, you know, she's trying to separate them or something, and then out of nowhere, from within the ring itself, you remember how Undertaker and Kane used to pop up out of the ring? Well, what if Nikki Cross did that? Nikki Cross drags Alexa Bliss to hell, and it's because the Wyatt Six has finally decided that they don't want Alexa Bliss dressing up like her fiend self. They are finally fed up that she still uses Sister Abigail, and it's like, you either are joining us and you can continue to use it, or you can no longer. And that gets Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross into a feud right there. Otherwise, I don't really see much more to do. Lash Legend. Oh, here's one. Lash Legend. I say what we do here is we let the good guys have the advantage. And what that means is, because War Games starts like this, 1-on-1, and then someone else comes in for 3 minutes, I think, and then it alternates. So at some point, at certain points in the match, one team has a one-person advantage. Let's give the good guys the one-person advantage, but let Lash Legend be the first person in for the bad guys, and let Lash dominate. She dominates, even though it's 2-on-1. Lash Legend is like just beating everybody up and still just a powerhouse and going at it. And people are like, holy cow, look at her. It's 2-on-1 and she's still, nobody can stop her. So I think that would be a good way to spotlight Lash Legend. Lash doesn't need to get the pin, but we should use this as a way to really demonstrate how good she is. And then the only other thing I can see is, well, we have the bad guys win. Like I said earlier, I think the best solution may be Asuka pinning Rhea Ripley. I think that advances many stories between Charlotte and Rhea, and the fact that Asuka gets a pin on Rhea, and that advances the whole Rhea Io situation right there. All right, so now let's go to Stephanie Vaquer and Nikki Bella. This one's pretty simple. If we want to ruin this matchup, we have a decent matchup, and then afterwards we have Nikki Bella. She loses, right? She takes the pin. 1, 2, 3. Stephanie Vaquer wins. Nikki Bella instantly gets up, extends her hand, and says, "You know what? I respect you. The women's division is in good hands. I just needed to see if I could do it, and I couldn't. The better woman won, and they walk away, and that's it." Nope. Nikki Bella, I don't want any respect coming from her. Win, lose, or draw, Nikki Bella, I want to remain a horrible person and show no respect whatsoever. Now, if you want to make it better, though, if you want to book this awesome and great, twin magic. We just have twin magic, and what that is Nikki Bella has a twin sister, Brie Bella, and Brie Bella hasn't been seen in WWE for a minute now. And when they debuted, how they debuted was, I think it was just Nikki Bella debuted, and no one knew she had a sister. She would, like, during the match, she would crawl under the ring, and then Brie Bella would come out. But because they're identical, nobody really knew until eventually one day they pulled Nikki out, and Nikki, I think, was holding on to Brie or something like that, and they were, oh my god, they're twins. And then they both started wrestling. You could do that here, and that could allow for Nikki Bella to become the champion. We have twin magic. She goes under the ring, Brie Bella comes out, and Brie wins it. Now, we could go two roads with this. So, in this situation, Brie Bella gets the pin. We could have Nick Aldis say that doesn't count because Nikki did not get the pin. It was Brie Bella. So then strips him of the title, awards it back to Stephanie Vaquer. That feud continues. Or we do twin magic where Brie Bella gets the pin, they're awarded the title, and Nikki brings back the old Divas title, not this women's world title. And that would get heat. The Divas division, WWE has sold us on the idea that the Divas division was kind of like a bad thing for wrestling. And so to bring back that belt, which Nikki Bella is like synonymous with, would draw heat. Plus the belt is gaudy. It's ugly. I hate it. I'm talking about the look. I'm not talking about the entire division. I hate the look of the women's Divas belt. And I think if Nikki brought it back after winning the world champion, that would heat. People would be booing, booing, booing. And hey, Big Daddy TKO, that allows you to sell a Nikki Bella replica belt too. So you get some money there. Wait a minute, did you say money? so maybe right there. If I can't entice you with good stories, can I entice you with the possibility of profits? Because Nikki Bella winning through twin magic, bringing back the belt, I think we have something right there. All right, now let's do the men's War Games match. This one, Jimmy Uso's gonna take the pin, right? That's why Jimmy Uso exists, right? To take the pin here, because I guess we can roll up Drew McIntyre. That would instantly. Could you imagine if the ending to War Games was Drew McIntyre getting a rolled up loss? God, that would ruin. I would instantly. My eyeballs would melt in my skull on live TV streaming if they just roll up Drew McIntyre. So let's pray that doesn't happen. I hope Bronson Reed doesn't jump off the top of the cage either. They should tease it. They should tease Bronson Reed jumping off the cage, but maybe he could nah, you guys don't deserve it, and then he just gets down. We don't need to see that ever again. We shouldn't have seen it in the first time. Last year, he jumped off the cage, broke his ankle. I was afraid he would never come back. That's a big dude from a big fall with a big break of his ankle, so glad he's all right. He's returning a conquering hero, though, as a conquering villain, and I just don't get back up there. Nobody should jump off the top. I mean, even Jimmy last year broke his pinky toe from jumping off the top of the cage. We don't need stuff like that. Was it the top of the cage? I'm not sure. He broke his toe though. Let's be careful, everybody. The way we could ruin this was the roll up. Also, Brock Lesnar, he's gonna be the fifth guy, right? Because they stagger in. You get like every 3 minutes a new person comes in, and once all 5 members are in, the bell starts. The matchup starts. Well, let's have, to ruin it, we have Brock Lesnar, just the bell rings, he cleans house for 2 or 3 minutes, and then he just gets a pin. 1, 2, 3, Jimmy Uso gets pinned by Brock Lesnar, and then it's over. It's over. And they've done stuff like this with Brock. There was a ladder in the bank match one time where Brock didn't even compete, and then he came out in the last 30 seconds of the match and won. Like, if they did that, if they repeated that at War Games, I would hate it. That would probably be worse than Drew getting rolled up. Like, maybe, I don't know. They would be like they're neck and neck on what's worse. So please do not do that at all. If we had If we had Logan Paul pin Roman Reigns, that would ruin it. Oh my God. Could you, the fallout on the internet, whew, and I would hate that, by the way. Like, if Roman takes the pin here, that would be insanely bad idea, especially because you got Jimmy. I mean, I'm sorry, Jimmy. I love you, Jimmy, but you exist here to take the pin. But it's a big paycheck, right? Big paycheck. What else could we do? This would suck. What if we had Logan Paul? He turns on the Vision and he sides with the good guys. This is the long-awaited Logan Paul face turn, and Cody Rhodes. It was Cody Rhodes' plan, and ha ha ha. And now Logan Paul is gonna learn under the respect tree of Cody, and Cody's gonna take him under his wing. And honestly, that might actually be kind of funny if we saw a heel Logan Paul trying to learn from a uber babyface Cody Rhodes, and Cody has to teach him how to be a good guy. That would actually be kind of funny. So, but I don't want that. Logan Paul as a face, as a good guy, doesn't work, won't work ever. He's too much of a natural heel. So if he turns on the bad guys to become a good guy, that would suck. What can we do to make this good, though? How can we make this good? Honestly, it's a pretty straightforward. There's not much we need to do. We don't need to overbook this one. They've got crazy amount of name value here. There's really not many weak links in regards to how this could fail. You could justify either team winning. I think again the heels should win, but I do kind of lean and gravitate towards keeping heels strong. I like the heels winning WarGames though, because honestly there's not much at stake here. So if the good guys win, okay, so what? We talk about it real quick and we move on with our lives, but the heels get to gloat. We beat the champions. We beat Roman Reigns. We beat all these things. I don't like it in that Roman just lost a match, so for him to return and then lose another, it's a little bit of a sour taste. But if Jimmy takes the pin, or even Jey Uso in this situation, to further that story, Jey Uso takes the pin, maybe he didn't listen to something Roman said. Jey Uso went into business for himself, not as a heel, but as someone who thought he knew the right play. Well, then Roman can then crash out on him. I told you should have done this, but you did that, and that's why we lost. I'm sick and tired of being a loser. And who knows? And then those three can go back to having their little bloodline story. The next chapter of the bloodline can go over there. So there's one possibility. Another possibility is this could, I would say, Cody turns on Roman. But yes, I would love if Cody became a heel, honestly. Could you imagine? Ooh, here's one. Cody turns heel and joins the Vision. That would be cool. That would be cool. And then it's revealed that Cody has a really good relationship with Braun Breaker. Dusty Rhodes would have had a good relationship with his dad, Scott Steiner, so we could play that up. That would be great, but that's me living in a delusional world. Cody's not turning heel. But the best we could get, though, is what if after the match, in this situation, most likely the good guys win. The good guys win, and we still have the Usos. They're kind of taken out at this point, but who knows? Roman pins, right? 1, 2, 3. Roman gets the win, and then Cody instantly attacks Roman. And Cody says, I'm tired of this. Maybe at some point during the match, Roman disrespected Cody, and Cody attacks Roman. And he says, I'm tired of the disrespect. I'm the champion here. I'm not second fiddle to you. I'm not second fiddle to CM Punk. I'm done. I'm done with this. And now we get more of not a heel version of Cody Rhodes, but we get more of a face version that was more akin to an Attitude Era face. Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock type of face, where Cody Rhodes is no longer taking any kind of disrespect from anyone. The reverse to this is the good guys win and Roman attacks Cody. Or this, Roman attacks Cody and the Usos attack CM Punk. And it's the bloodline. They're back. And Roman says, Cody, you got my belt. I'll see you at WrestleMania 42, 41, wherever we're at. And then Jey Uso's like, Punk, that's my belt. And the Roman's going for one, Jay's going for the other. They win the match. They fulfill their obligation to winning, but instantly afterwards they got their own agenda. And if you want to make them heels, great, but they don't necessarily need to be heels too. They could be anti-heroes. Other than that, I don't see much. I don't see much more to do. I would have Braun Breaker and Logan Paul also. Let them split here. We got to keep them both bad guys, but I could totally 100% see that Logan Paul does something that makes Braun Breaker mad, and he just snaps on him. Kind of like he just snapped on Seth Rollins. Just have him snap on Logan Paul. We could also probably start the Braun Breaker, Brock Lesnar feud here that is rumored for WrestleMania. Just have Braun Breaker accidentally spear Brock Lesnar. Brock sells it like a champ, but then he gets up. He F5s. Maybe he just F5s Braun Breaker, and then he leaves, and he's mad or something. As for CM Punk, who's kind of the pseudo leader of the team, I don't know what we could do. I say, you know what? Him and Drew McIntyre throughout the match. I know Drew and Cody are actually like the feud here, but we should just have Punk and Drew have a lot of callbacks to their Hell in the Cell. Maybe redo the spot with the toolbox, and maybe even redo the spot with the beads. Just a couple callbacks. So that one needs simple. Sometimes you just got to keep it simple. You don't need to go crazy. And I think that's the men's War Games. The women's War Games you can go a little crazier on, and it's deserving because it has the better storyline even. This one, you're kind of just playing off name value, and this can really build towards the future of things. So just do callbacks between Drew and CM Punk. And the losers here, either let Jimmy take the pin, or I would say Logan Paul takes the pin. Brock Lesnar, we can't pin Brock Lesnar. I know it'd be huge if Brock ate a pinfall, but like, why would we pin him? He just squashed John Cena. Yeah, Logan Paul has to be the guy that takes the pin here. And then he could just blame his teammates, and maybe that would further his dissension between him and Braun Breaker. He blames them for the loss. So yeah, Logan Paul takes the pin, or Jimmy Uso takes the pin. Maybe Jey Uso, depending on the direction we go. Like, he doesn't listen to Roman, and Roman gets mad at him. So, all right, there you go. That's how you book your War Games. What did you think? Good ideas, bad ideas? Let me know in the comments below which ones you liked, which ones you didn't like. And, I appreciate every single one of you. See you tomorrow for Monday Night Raw. We'll do hot takes. We'll do watch-alongs for SmackDown, Raw, Survivor Series. See ya. Bye.